Alrighty, I just want to do a video here to rant and complain about a guy on YouTube. His name is Lucas Racevicki or some crap like that. He did a video called Halo Reach 6 years later, and he also did videos on the other Halo games, and he did a pretty good job at going over the other Halo games, but his video on Reach in particular is kind of shitty, and I'll explain why. Well, with the other Halo games, he was pretty spot on for the most part, but with Reach, he just seemed to have some kind of, like, biased hatred towards the game, and a lot of his points are just plain fucking stupid. Let's get into it here. Okay, for example, he complained about Noble Team's reaction to the Covenant in the first level, when they first run into the Covenant, and I guess he was, from the sound of it, I don't know what he wanted exactly, but from the sound of it, he was looking for a more emotional response or something like that. But here's the thing, Noble Team are a bunch of cybernetically enhanced super soldiers who have basically been stripped of emotion and have been trained to be somewhat emotionless. So they're not going to freak out like a bunch of little girls, okay? They've run into the Covenant before. They've fought these assholes before. They're trained to deal with this situation. So staying somewhat calm makes sense. They wouldn't be freaking out. So that's a stupid-ass complaint. And another thing he said was that the first level felt really lifeless and empty. And he has a point, but, like, well, duh, Captain Obvious. It's the countryside. You're gonna see more fucking MOAs running around than people. And George runs into a civilian who fucking tells him that there's Covenant shitheads or some kind of monster or something that snatched his son and dragged him into the fucking fields, and he hasn't seen his son ever since. So obviously, you know, word is being spread that there's trouble going on outside, and a lot of people are scared, so it makes sense that they would stay indoors. You're not going to see a lot of people running around. And then later in the game, in a mission called Exodus, you do see tons of civilians running around trying to save themselves, and you have to help save a lot of them, you know, and he doesn't give any credit to the game for doing that, you know, like, that just seemed kind of silly to me, that he would complain about something like that. I mean, he even complained about it with ODST. He said that ODST's city was lifeless and empty and kind of like boring, but like that's kind of the point. An alien invasion just fucking happened. I mean, what do you want? For Pizza Hut to be open so you can go shopping at the Baby Gap? Like, what the fuck do you want? You know, what do you expect? A fucking alien strike just happened. It was almost like a giant bomb going off in the city. I'm pretty sure not that many people are going to be hanging around, just saying. Pretty much everybody was evacuated or got killed. So that's kind of a stupid thing to bring up on his part. Let's see, what else did he say that was really ridiculous? He said that Firefight doesn't belong in Halo Reach. And that's just kind of stupid to say such a thing. It's kind of really stupid, actually. I mean, think about it. Halo Reach is a game about soldiers fighting off waves of alien assholes. What's Firefight about? It's a game mode about soldiers fighting off waves of alien assholes. How does this not fit? How does this not belong in the game? Like, that makes no fucking sense. I guess he's talking about it from a gameplay perspective. He thinks that, Spartans are super badass super soldiers, and it just feels like you're an overpowered god going up against punk-ass bitches, and it's not challenging at all, blah, blah, blah. But it's like, that's what difficulty settings are for, dumbass. Like, you can change the difficulty, okay? And, like, that's another thing. He talks about the game like it's too fucking easy, you know? Like, one of his points is that firefight in Halo Reach to him feels like it's just about gathering points instead of trying to survive. And that's why you manipulate the settings to make it feel more like ODST, if you want that kind of a game out of firefight mode in Halo Reach. Like, it's called options. It's called manipulating the settings. That's what you're supposed to do. That's what Reach is all about. It's all about settings, so you can make the game play to your liking, basically. That's what makes Reach so great, is it has so much content and so many options. And if you took the time to explore these options, you probably wouldn't be so pissed off sounding about the game. Just saying. So yeah, but yeah, he complains about the AI being basically cannon fodder in Halo Reach's campaign, and it's funny when he talks about how the AI just is cannon fodder and does bugger all. Those are the words he uses. When he says that, he's showing gameplay against the first wave of enemies in the game. You know, like, what the fuck, really? The first enemy encounter. And that's the example you're using for enemies that are cannon fodder and not very smart. Like, I don't know about you, but usually the first group of enemies you fight in any video game are supposed to be punk bitches. You know, they're not supposed to be very tough. This is kind of a tutorial to get you started in the game, because not everybody is, you know, a fucking badass at shooters. A lot of people need tutorials, okay? You know? Ridiculous. But here's the funny thing. He complains that the game is too easy, basically, you know? But the funny thing is that he shows his gamertag and gameplay under his gamertag in the game, in the video that he posted. And in this video, there's his gamertag, and you can look it up on HaloTracker.com. So I did, because I wanted to see what kind of a Halo player he truthfully is. I wanted to see if this guy was full of shit or not, because he just seemed so hard to agree with. The only thing that was running through my mind at the time was, who the fuck is this guy and why is he so dumb? So I wanted to see more about what he was all about, and looking up his gamertag seemed like a good idea, so I checked it out, and he's played 80-something games of Halo Reach campaign, and he's died like 300-something times in the Reach campaign. So if it's so fucking easy, why are you dying so much? Why are you dying on average 2, 3, 4 times a match, you know, like, on every level? Like, that's kind of funny, don't you think? He's talking about the game being so fucking easy, and he's getting his ass kicked from time to time. Interesting. That doesn't make sense to me, but whatever. And then I saw in the video that he said invasion is his favorite thing about the game, and probably what he considers is the best thing about Halo Reach. But it's kind of hard to believe his word on that when you look up his gamertag and see that he's only played 30 games of Invasion. Really? Like, Invasion is apparently the best thing about Reach to you, and you've only played 30 fucking games? That's it? Meanwhile, you've played, like, close to 200 games in Free-for-All, and I forget the other one he played a lot of. Big Team Battle, or Team Snipes, or Slayer, or something like that. Anyway, in competitive, he has 700-something games played, but only 30 Invasion games played. Like, are you fucking kidding me? That's it? This is the best thing about the game to you, and you hardly even played it. Like, are you retarded? Are you insane? Like, what's wrong with you? Like, why would you say something like that and then do something completely against that? That's just ridiculous. But yeah, that's who this guy is, apparently. You know, he says one thing and then does something different. So whatever. But yeah, those are my complaints about the video that he made. He did make some good points about how the arena turned out to be a fucking joke for the most part. Like, if you go on Reach right now and you try to find a match in Arena, you probably won't. Hardly anyone's fucking playing Arena in Reach, because Arena it's trash compared to Halo 3 Ranked. Like, nobody wants to play it. So, you know, he makes a good point about how Arena is just not really a very strong part of Halo Reach, even though Bungie wanted it to be like this epic replacement for Halo 3 Ranked, and no. I remember in the Bungie Carnival Vidoc video, they had a guy talking about like how like if you're an Onyx rank in Arena, it's like you're a Roger Clemens or some shit, and it's just like, that's just Bungie fucking making it sound like it's great when it really isn't. Every developer fucking raises their game to shit and makes it sound like it's the greatest thing ever, but, no game's perfect. But Reach, it's not really a terrible game. It's very fucking good, actually. It's a system seller. It has a shitload of content. It's a really good shooter. Very good game, filled with lots of content that's not just crap. It's quality content, most of it. Hardly any of it is crap, actually. They did a really good job in that game. And here's the thing, though. At the end of his video, after basically 30 minutes of trash-talking the game, at the very end of his video, he says that the game is good, and in some ways it's a great game. And it's just kind of weird that he says that, because if you watch the video, you wouldn't think that he would have that mindset. Like, he trashes the video. I mean, he trashes the game so much in the video. And at the very end, to try and damage control, he's like, it's good, though. Like, it's just kind of weird, Like, what if I was talking shit about this donut shop that sucks ass, and I just hate it so much, and I kept on trashing it, and then at the end of the day, you see me eating a donut from that place with a smile on my face, and you would think, like, dude, what the fuck? Like, you're crazy. So anyway, those are my problems with his video. Like I said, it's not a completely terrible video. He does make some good points, but for the most part, he was just like coming off as like a biased hater. And it just seemed really fucking retarded. And I just gotta say it, man. I just can't help it. I gotta rant about it. I gotta talk about it. I gotta call him out for his bullshit. So that's what sucks about that video. And that's what's not so bad about that video. But that video is mostly ridiculous. Like, you can't take that guy very seriously. I'm sorry. Especially after looking at his gamertag and proving that, he says one thing, but based on the way he plays the games, he's completely doing something different from what he actually says in the video. So the guy's sort of a bullshitter, But, I think he's just got kind of a warped mindset on the reality of the Halo games. It's a shame, though, too, because his videos on Halo 1, Halo 2, Halo 3, and Halo ODST are pretty good. But his video on Reach is pretty shitty for the most part, and his video on Halo 4 isn't even that great, because he kind of makes the game sound like it's better than Halo Reach, when that's a crock of shit. Halo Reach is way fucking better than Halo 4. Seriously. Well, maybe not way fucking better, but as a Halo game, it's definitely way fucking better. And judging the game objectively on its own, it's definitely still better than Halo 4. Halo 4 really doesn't have anything over Reach. I'm trying to think, does it? No. Like, no, it really doesn't. Maybe the graphics are slightly better? Not really. A lot of people think the game looks like shit. I wouldn't say the graphics are better. I wouldn't say hardly anything's better, unless you want to get really nitpicky. But overall, Halo 4 is trash compared to Halo Reach. I mean, it's a decent Call of Duty type of game, but it's a terrible Halo game, that's for sure. But in his Halo 4 video, he basically made Halo 4 sound like it was better than Reach, or just as good as Reach, which is fucking stupid, because Reach is clearly a great game, and Halo 4 is clearly a mediocre game that's good in some ways, not really. So that's the truth, and I just wanted to say that. So that's the end of this video. See ya.